Well, thanks everyone for coming. I've very impressed with all the speakers. They were about 10 seconds less than their 10 minutes, so let me see if I can stick with it. I was watching the little number right here. So anyway, GoldQuest, we're in the Dominican Republic in the sunny Caribbean, and we found gold, the gold that Johnny Depp didn't find in his movies. But in the sunny Dominican Republic, where I'm sure many of you have been. We're a growth company. We found Romero gold copper deposit in 2012. This was the approximately 10% of all gold found in the world of 2012. Not because we're clever, because by then, of course, the exploration business had almost rolled over in the last few years. We discovered this deposit by IP. It was a blind deposit, doesn't come to surface. And within 4 days of the discovery, if I recall, Warren Irwin was on site saying, "What the hell have you got here?" Which is why Warren has done very well, because he jumps, and he jumps very hard. He's our second largest shareholder. And no doubt the reason was that is we had over 200 meters of material. The best drill hole we had is 235 meters of 8 grams per ton of gold and 1.4% copper. And the nice thing about that discovery is that that's the true width of the deposit. That isn't just shooting down a vein. And we've rolled this into a feasibility study. This is probably one of the quickest mine developments you'll see. The pre-feasibility study was published on November the 11th, 2016, very recently. 25% IRR, very low all-in sustaining costs. Cash costs are sub $360 per ounce. So it's a very nice project, permitting in progress as we go forward. But that's not all, because this area was unknown before we really made the Romero discovery. 50-kilometer belt, which we own 100%. We're drilling at this time. The reason we're drilling now is because in the permitting phase, there's a lack of news. So we got a drill rig turning. In fact, a second rig is going on to the site of Kashimbo. This is a discovery we announced in January 2017. You're probably getting a theme that this company isn't stopping. We're getting moving fast. This is probably one of the highest grade, it is the highest grade discovery in the Dominican Republic, even more than Pueblo Viejo. That's $1,000 per ton rock, 12% zinc, and 14 grams per ton gold. Extremely unusual to have gold and zinc together. This hole was drilled in December. Second rig is moving up this weekend to go and fill that up there. Very careful with funds. We raised money on the discovery in 2012. We didn't return to market for over 4 years. Through the bad times, we tightened our belts. Everyone took a 50% pay cut. And in that meantime, we put PEAs out and established a 3 million ounce resource while trying to reduce dilution. Lots of news flow coming up, feasibility studies, we're moving the feasibility up, permitting going forward, exploration going forward, and we have the cash to do this. So where are we? In the Dominican Republic on the western side. This is the area towards the Haitian border, away from the tourist areas. We will become the biggest employer in the province. We will be the biggest taxpayer in the province. And the president of the country comes from San Juan. So this area is an area which is very much a backwater, the poorest part of the country. Pueblo Viejo's second biggest gold mine in the Americas is paid its billionth dollar of tax last year, so the country, a small country, is benefiting hugely from mining. And there's Cerro de Memon mine, the mine over here, the one that we built before. Who did it? Myself. I was the CEO of Globestar. Julio, my partner, was the country manager of Globestar when we built Cerro de Memon on time and under budget. In 2008 it was commissioned. Julio's great-grandfather was the president of the Dominican Republic, and he's a mining engineer, and all his students are now the sub-directors of the Ministry of Mines and also the Ministry of Environment. Dave Masola, he was in Globestar. JP LeBlanc, engineering manager, getting a bit of a theme here. We kind of like the Dominican, not just for the beaches, because we like to build mines there too. So we did that one. We bought it for $350,000, sold it for $186 million. So I think we did pretty well building a greenfield site as we went forward. So this project here, this is just the high-grade core, 7 million tons out of our 25 million tons, a 28% IRR, all-in sustaining costs very low, 2.5-year payback, and then we'll start addressing the remaining 18 million tons of the current resource that we have together. Again, a very beautiful high-grade core. There's the resource. I'll keep going through this. Here's the basic metrics on the project. $160 million to build this mine. We can see clarity on $120 million of debt and quasi-debt based on the offtake agreements. We will not be having a royalty on this. There's a small 1.25% royalty But apart from that, we won't have any royalty on streaming on this project. It'll be based on offtake agreement with senior banks which you get the best possible arrangement. And that's, you'll see some announcements on project financing in the very near future. So anyway, a very nice project. The low net present value is still, we're about $90 million today as our market cap, so we're less than 0.5 of PNAV, but that doesn't include the expiration. But we'll see that hopefully in the next few months you'll see some further announcements how we're going to increase the size of the resource that will make a substantial difference, in my opinion, to our net present value. But I think the IRR is pretty sufficient. If I can get money at LIBOR plus 3, and I got after-tax IRR at 28%, I think you can see where the profitability lies. I would suggest in terms of the infrastructure, come and look at our lovely 3D printed model on our booth over here. So rather than go through all the various bits and pieces, this is what the mine's going to look like. The previous one was what the mill is going to look like. Big underground stopes. There will be no acid rock drainage at surface. All the sulfides we don't extract will go back underground. We won't take water from the river. We won't put dirty water back into the rivers. We will not be using cyanide. We'll produce a concentrate and ship it off probably to Germany. Here's the facilities. Again, please come and have a look. Here's the concentrate. This is the high-grade core of the mine. This is the one, the 7 years. The copper is red by value, and the gold is gold. This is the sub-600 all-in sustaining costs. If I apply that gold fund, that gold money to the ounces, sorry, the copper money to the ounces, my all-in sustaining costs will be sub-$100 an ounce. But I'm doing on a co-product basis, so it's about 600 of gold equivalent. So that's a different way of looking at things. But in any case, we're the top 5% of value. I won't go through these. Exploration. Got to look at exploration because it's going very, very well. We found this. There's no panning in this district. The last history of panning we found in this part was between 1505 and 1510 by the Spanish conquistadors. But since then, there's been no panning because the gold is extremely fine. So we found this through modern bootstrap exploration. This is what we think is really a bit of a string of pearls. On this side over here, this is the Atlantic plate, geological plate. This is the Caribbean plate. This is the plate boundary, and that's why where they clashed together, where the volcanism came through, producing gold and copper and other minerals as well. Here's Romero up here. Here's our new discovery, 20 miles away, Kashimbo. This is the string of pearls. You expect along a plate boundary, and you should be hitting gold and copper and minerals all the way along. In what amounts, who knows? We start right down here, Jengibre, some nice material, 40 meters of 1.5 grams. Here we have some nice stuff through here. Romero South, 28 meters of 10, and of course, Romero itself, 10.4 grams of gold equivalent, 235 meters is our super hole. There were over 12 holes greater than 200 meters in the middle of this deposit. There's Romero. That's what 3 million ounces looks like. This is IP, this technique. This is our 2016 IP program. This is the largest IP program in the world. So that's 3 million ounces. This we knew, this IP map was developed during 2016. We drilled A, B, and C was the big hit at Kashimbo down here. We're now drilling all the way up here. We're on target numbers 8 right now. But anyway, hitting third out of 20 targets, great start. What have we got here? This is what's kind of unusual about this discovery. Here is the discovery areas over here. There we go. We drilled here, had a bit of gold and copper, Then in the middle, off the IP target, which I won't explain about the geophysics, we hit this over here. And this is because zinc does not conduct and doesn't take a charge. But the nice thing about here is we found a grab sample representing the old seafloor, which is 5 ounces per ton grab sample at surface here, in a silica barite horizon. So we knew there was something there. This was an old seafloor at the time. Then we went next door, and sure enough, we hit this material, this $1,000 rock. Very unusual to have gold and copper together. Gold and zinc together, sorry. Here's the model. This is the various bits and pieces. I won't go through the model. It's a little bit too complicated. Anyway, this is how the curve worked. This is our share price. We made the discovery, bam, we kaboomed to the top here. We raised $20 million here. I didn't come back to market till over here, and now we're working our way through the feasibility and permitting, et cetera, through this part. The two parts of the curve that really make your money are here, which is, this is what they sometimes call the Lassonde curve. This is what I call the Irwin moment, which is down here, which is just as you hit it, where you want to see the things shoot up. And then over here, you have the area when you de-risk it, permitting and all that kind of good stuff through to construction. I'm trying to do both at once, have the drill, speculative drilling and the mine construction going forward. Let's see, here we go. I think we're almost there. Here's the various phases of it there. There's our time frame. Drilling going ahead. We're now sitting around this moment here. We're expecting permitting any minute, and we should see some interesting news on financing coming in very, very shortly. So what I would say, just watch the stock, watch what we're doing. I think you'll see how we're going to do the debt side, the equity side. Exploration drilling will not stop. We're doubling up on the drill rigs, may put a third one on. So watch this stock, keep an eye on us. I think you'll be very pleased as 2017 moves forward. Thank you very much.